He can probably best
Like,
weigh in
yeah, I
here.
think the entire missile formula it's kind of bad-ish.
Can you give us a quick explain it to me like I'm five for some of our listeners who may not understand or know about it a lot?
Let me bring up my paper thingy.
While you're doing that, the issue with missiles in me, like I love missiles. They're the best weapon system for small gang and solo just because they can be immune to the most E-War. TDs don't affect them. Damps are only partially effective along with E-War, ECM because of FOF missiles. But the issue with missiles being too broken or too balanced, I think there's a really, really fine line and it's difficult to find. I think the biggest issue, of course, is the algorithm that they use to determine missile damage. Missiles use explosion velocity and then explosion radius, which are the two things that determine if a missile is applying good damage or not. Suffice it to say, heavy missiles has received very large nerf to both their explosion velocity and explosion radius, so it makes it difficult to hit anything. Gorski, hopefully once he's done playing that, will be able to give you a little bit more in depth.
Like, without going into the formula and stuff, they've buffed the speed on almost every single ship in EVE and nerfed the application on the missiles. So and speed is a big part in how much you apply with your missiles. Target that not moving, you're gonna apply almost full DPS. Against a micro driving frig, you're heavy missiles. It's under 10% damage, and that's doesn't cut it in small gang PvP and stuff because you need to be flexible and be able to handle small stuff. And that's part of why rapid lights are so popular, because even though they do less damage than HMLs on battleships, they're so much flexible and they can take care of the small tackle and stuff that actually is more dangerous than a battleship to a kiting fleet.
Totally agree with that. I'm less of a mathematics player. I play slightly more instinctively. I just know that heavy missiles and hams, for example, if I don't have a target webbed, if I don't have a target painted, I'm not going to be applying a hell of a lot of damage to that target.
That's one thing with hams, they're almost as bad as HMLs, but they're close range weapon systems, so you'll almost always have web and scram on your target, increasing your damage, compared to HMLs where you don't really want to be within that range.
Yeah, the interesting thing too, reading your article and everything else, is the use of riggers versus flare, which help with application. And I believe your conclusions were riggers were the best. Is that correct?
Yeah, riggers are almost always the best rig to fit. The only reason you can fit flares is because you use 50 less calibration. Otherwise, riggers always increase more DPS than the flares.
Yeah, it's interesting to note. I know that I was personally very disappointed when they did the HML rebalance without looking at missiles at all, as far as their algorithms for application or anything like that.
The difference between 3 riggers and 2 flares, or two riggers and 3 flares is 1% more damage for triple flares.
Jeez.
Yeah, cheers for that, organising that. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Sully.
Yeah, I've just been talking about Solomon Shua, guys, and Frank Starslicer for footwork. So how was that tournament for you guys?
It was good fun, yeah. It's nice to do on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, thanks.
You again scraped out a win, structure, Sully.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I didn't realise I forgot to turn one hardener on. It's got teleported out. It was hidden under my drone window, so I didn't see the button.
Inside scoop in the tournament.
You lost about
here,
10k
guys.
EHP.
I don't know, 5k or something, yeah. But I was down.
So did you just turn that hardener on and stabilize?
No. It was off the entire fight. I didn't realise until we were I was wondering why I've only got 6 buttons I can press, or 5. Where's the extra button? And then I moved the drone window to the side, and then I saw an extra hardener I hadn't used.
Whoops.
I was like, oh, that would have been quite nice to have used. But no, it was really good fun actually. Really enjoyed it. It was.
I think it's a great format. I think it's yeah, I mean, we've gone a little bit longer than I expected. I think, thanks for being patient. I think the footwork guys have tried to rotate as many nerd pilots into that as possible to give as many people experience as possible. So, but I think we could probably make it a little bit quicker. And I think it's it's only a couple of hours on Sunday evening. Kick back and do some PvP, and yeah. Frank.
No, I really appreciate you guys putting that on. It was a lot of fun to commentate it.
Yeah, same like it was fun.
Yeah, can we hear a little bit from Frank? Frank, how did you feel that went?
Oh, we had a good time. 2 seconds, my headset beeping.
Technology.
Technical issues. Shit. Jinx.
So Sully,
Yeah,
did
my
you
headset starts-
did you find the Drake comp challenging, Sully?
What your Drake on?
Shh.
Oh, we thought it was like we were like, this is a really weird. We're not sure what you're gonna do with it, and then we saw we were getting damped, but people were calling it out, and we were like, oh, we thought it might be like ECM Drake or something, like an ECM comp.
Yeah,
It's quite
it didn't
interesting
work.
to play.
I hold my hands up and admit that was a failure comp.
I think. I mean, I think the Civerpool, the lone Civerpool, when the worm was not a great combination. I think 2 Civerpools would have been a lot better. And downgrading the Cerberus to allow that would be a pretty. Because if you downgrade the Cerb, you can upgrade the worm to another Civerpool, and then you can upgrade the Drake to a command ship. And I think that probably would have worked out possibly better.
Yeah,
Because the Drake was.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit what happened with the first match, guys.
The newts were quite. The curse is very effective at mitigating incoming damage.
I was kind of
How-
shocked that you managed to trade the authority for the curse. I mean, that was a bit nuts. Was it just the newts shutting up your hardeners and making you take so much damage and just not cycle your guns, or what?
I was really bad at managing. Yeah, the curse was focusing on neuting me and the Deimos. So I think he focused most of the newts onto me because I was calling out I was having a cap pressure before he was, before the Deimos was. So it was quite hard running links because the links use quite a lot of cap. So it's quite hard keeping the links running as well as the guns. And it stopped. It reduced our DPS a lot because we couldn't keep firing. So if you look at the kill mail actually of the curse, the Phobos, which should have been a Deimos, did more damage than me and the Deimos simply because it could keep shooting because it wasn't being neutered. So it was quite an effective. The newts were really effective at reducing incoming DPS. I died because we were playing really cautious with our Logifrigs in that one, and we took them out because we moved them away because we thought the curse would just newt them immediately. We moved them away, and by the time we realized that they were focusing on me, the enemy comp was focusing on me, it was really tough. They came in slightly too late. Like you saw me stabilize in structure, and then I think they overshot because I tried to break free. Because I wasn't hard tackled when I went down, I tried to break free to reduce incoming DPS because the Sleipnir was probably loading hail, so low projection. But I didn't communicate that enough, so the frigates were comfortably repping at range. Then I burst out, and then I think a glancing shot by the broadsword, which has better projection than a Sleipnir, I think, killed me. So the newts were super effective. It was. We thought it would have been a pretty tough matchup. The curse was 13k off us when the match started, which really helped.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting mistake. I want to hear if the footwork guys have any interesting comments about why they had the curse in so close, or was that a mistake, or did you guys actually plan that?
It was supposed to be a bit. We took things a bit on the feeling, but then I was so close to the frigates that I didn't kite immediately away because I could zone the budgie frigates, and then I just got a bit.
Sorry, Frank, you're
I was
cutting in and out a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm having difficulty understanding you.
So the curse was a bit uncareful and didn't got tackled, so it couldn't burn away anymore.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of neuting the Astadi and keeping one newt on him, and then starting neuting the other blaster ships.
Okay, guys.
Spread it out.
I'm just going to end with this. What was both of you guys' favourite matches to fly in? Starting with
We flew 5 in total. I'm just trying to think because it happened so quickly. Hard to separate them in your mind.
So we had the Sleipnir,
So
Sleipnir versus Astarte comps, the Drake versus the ECM comp, what was the third one? Oh, no, it's gone. What was the third one?
I can't even remember. I think as well. Oh, God, I need a.
Personally, for me,
I know.
ECM comp. I think ECM was the second. When we ran our ECM comp was the third match. I think. Was that the second?
That was the second match.
Okay.
The EOS
I'm
Phobos,
actually drawing a blank
the,
as well.
the EOS Phobos Obscura comp versus the Astarte kiting comp, wasn't it? So that was pretty smoothly executed by you guys. Just broad in and spread tackle. Oh no, sorry, you flew the Sleipnir comp versus the Astarte comp. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say a favourite match. I think I had like peaks of each match where I enjoyed them the most. So obviously like the curse getting out in structure.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The ECM comp was like my first time I've ever flown ECM actually, because I was the only one who had Recon 5 and ECM skills at 5. So I did. So you know the whole if a jam's successful, it's the icon is coloured in is white, where if it's not, it's faded in. If the jam's unsuccessful. It's quite nice to see that in practice and be able to identify what was jammed, because that was literally my first time flying a jamming ship. There was also a couple of... Yeah, the ECM was really fun. The Absolution one was kind of frustrating. Absolution versus the ECM comp, the match 4. That was fun, but killing the Celestis, but then also not being able to shoot for a while. A long time.
Yeah. ECM's pretty crippling if applied correctly. Well, it is very crippling. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there, shall we?
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks a lot for participating. It's been a few hours now. But
Yeah,
it's been an
thank you
awesome
so much.
tournament.
Cheers for organising, it was really good fun.
Yeah, thank you very much for putting it on. It was tons of fun. Thanks for the invite.
No, thanks for coming. It was awesome. Cool. I'll stop it there.
Oh, that was